Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, September 3rd, 2024, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App $ORION NWSF or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Seattle Mariners versus the Oakland Athletics. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 10 minutes. So let's keep up the music, take a look at the thumb, and let's get into the starting lineup. Happy Tuesday, everyone. And on the thumb, on the left, we have Julio Rodriguez. And on the right, we have the stud for the A's, Brent Rooker. Now let's get into the starting lineups here first for the visiting Seattle Mariners. Leading off for the Mariners at shortstop, J.B. Crawford. Batting second, playing center field, Julio Rodriguez. Batting third, DHing for the Mariners, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. Batting fifth, playing first base, Luke Raley. Batting sixth, playing second base for Seattle, Jorge Polanco. Batting seventh, playing right field, Victor Robles. Batting eighth, catching tonight for the Mariners, Mitch Garver. And batting ninth, playing third base for the Mariners, Josh Rojas. And on the mound for the Mariners with an 11-12 record, ERA of 3.65, it's La Piedra Luis Castillo. And hopefully we get a solid outing out of Luis. We're going to need a good 6 or 7. Let's go, La Piedra. Let's go, Luis Castillo. And now let's get into the starting lineup for the home Oakland A's. Leading off for the A's in right field, Lawrence Butler. Absolute stud. Batting second, the best player on the A's, DHing today from the 2-hole, Brent Rooker. Stud. Batting third, playing center field, J.J. Bleday. Batting cleanup, batting fourth, catching tonight for the A's, Shea Langeliers. Batting fifth, playing left field, Seth Brown. Batting sixth, playing second base, Zach Geloff. Batting seventh, playing first base, formerly of the Tampa Bay Rays, Tristan Gray. Batting eighth, playing third base for Oakland, Max Schumann. And batting ninth, playing shortstop for Oakland, Jacob Wilson. And on the mound for the A's, no wins, no losses, limited innings, an ERA of 5.19. Apparently, he's so good, he doesn't even have to have his eyes open in photos when he pitches. It is J.T. Ginn. All right, JT, don't get crazy with those eyes closed pitches, being like Jordan back in the 90s. I see you. And we're going to be shooting for 20 likes within the first hour, 30 to 50 overall, and we're going to be shooting for 100 in the donos on every single stream. And like I mentioned multiple times in the stream, mental health is the biggest thing right now that I feel not enough people are talking about, not just streamers, but just people in general, addiction, depression, anxiety. People are going through tough times, not only now, but have in the past. So if you ever feel like you're slipping back into that darkness, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Keep yourself busy, okay? And, make an effort. You have to know your triggers and what sets you off, right? And if you go down a wrong path, making a wrong decision. So if you're not eating healthy, eat a little healthier. Cut back on the fast food and the pizza a little bit, okay? If you're not exercising at all, I could say that is the number one thing to get back on track. And I'm not saying going to the gym and joining a gym, but just going outside for like 20 minutes a day and just taking a brief walk will go a long, long ways. If you got a pup like I do, it makes it extra easy because her needs become, a priority before my own. So she has to be walked an hour and a half to 2 hours a day. So someone's got to walk her. It might as well be me. So it's obviously a 2-for-1 for mental health. Not only is she happy, my pup Paisley, but it makes me happy as well. And number 3, make sure you're listening to a little bit of music every day. It doesn't have to be a lot, where you're listening to a whole album, but 30 minutes in a full day, not even when you're in the car, but just like at home in the room. Give yourself a chance to be able to reset, relax, and vibe. Maybe the music that you haven't listened to in quite some time. And you'd be really surprised if you do these basic things. It'll help you get your life back on track. I'm a big reason why, and I've been able to show kind of the progression here on the channel. And if you do these basic things, you'll come out the other side a little bit quicker and win the day. All right, baby, let's go. Seattle Mariners, Oakland Athletics. First pitch is going to be here in roughly 2 to 3 minutes. Let's get it, baby. Matt in the building. What's good? Let's get to 100 and donos. Let's do it. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you do have a Twitter/X account, do your boy a solid and like and repost. Obviously, the post that we made, stating that we're going to be doing the live stream today. And again, that'll help us get more people here. And then if you don't have a Twitter/X account, at least smash the like button for your boy. It helps us get into the algorithm for recommendations for people that are looking for MLB streams or specifically looking for Mariners and A's streams. And the more likes and the more overall, vibe that we can get in interaction, once YouTube sees that algorithm and metrics, it'll help us get more people in the room. We've hit over 1,000. 3 days in a row. Can we do it for 4 days in a row? I hope so. And I'm ready to be able to get this one going. Let's go, baby. DX in the building. What's good? Joey in the building. What's good? Daniel in the building. What's good? Yeah, I mean, man, like I said, being a Pacific Northwest fan is never easy. And again, sometimes our teams are going to be really, really good, but it usually takes us a long time to get that way. We have to build for like 4 to 5 years, most of the time to really build that championship caliber team. Now with college football, you got the NIL deals, you got transfer portal, and it kind of depends on your popularity overall. Like for the Oregon Ducks, you're going to be able to get new people regardless because you have Dan Lanning, and then you obviously have the Oregon Ducks kind of legacy. But as far as like the Seattle Mariners, the Seattle Kraken, the Seattle Seahawks, the Portland Trail Blazers, some of the other teams, it's a little bit different, right? Where we're going to have to really draft well. We got to get good free agents. We have to pray that we got the right coach and coordinators. And then even when everything is in line, sometimes things just blow up in our faces, right? And we have to be able to take that deep breath, that sigh, and think, okay, this is not good, but hopefully things will get better. And one thing I can say for sure, for a lot of Pacific Northwest fans, we are loyal to the soil. I mean, even if our teams lost every game that they played, there's still going to be a certain percentage of the fan base that's going to watch and root. And obviously it would be different in baseball. You're not going to have a team go 0-162, even though the White Sox look like, they could have, if they really, really wanted to. But again, it takes a smart and a very patient fan to be a fan out here in the Pacific Northwest. And losing games to the Angels and A's ain't how to do it. If you're trying to be able to make the playoffs, you can't be losing to teams like that. But we will still grind it out. We got the game today. We got the game tomorrow, same time, 6:30 Pacific. Thursday, we got the NFL kickoff, baby. DX's birthday. Okay, we got Ravens and Chiefs. Then we go to Brazil. We got Packers and Eagles. Then Saturday night on Peacock, we got Ducks and the Boise State Broncos. Then Sunday, probably I'll do the Commanders and the Buccaneers at 1, and then we'll be doing the Sunday night matchup as well. And then obviously we'll go into Monday night. So let's take a little peek ahead. I want to say is Sunday night Lions and Rams. I got to look at the schedule. So we got Ravens, Chiefs on Thursday, Packers, Eagles Friday. Magnificent. I'll end up doing more than likely the Commanders and Bucks to see obviously, the Rook there for the Commanders, Daniels, and obviously I got to check out my own team. We got Rams, Lions on Sunday night. There might be a long Sunday. I got reaction videos that I need to do as well. And then we're going to get a good one in the Jets and the Niners, and hopefully Aaron Rodgers can make it past the first quarter. Let's go, baby. Mariners, Athletics. So we're probably not going to be back here after we do tomorrow's matchup for the Mariners and the A's. The next Mariner game won't be, it'll be from Wednesday tomorrow, and then we probably won't be back doing Mariners until the following Tuesday. So I believe we got George Kirby on the mound tomorrow, and we'll also have George Kirby back on the mound when we do something probably on Tuesday. And I got to be able to manage my time because I got to be able to do a lot of reaction videos for the NFL. So there may be some streams, depending on my schedule, that we may not be able to do for the Mariners, but I'm still going to try to pump out as many as I can. But I got a lot of people that want me to do college football reactions, NFL reactions. So you guys know how that rolls during NFL season. Hope that you feel a little bit better. I'm sorry to hear that. First pitch inside to J.P. Crawford, 1-0 count. Let's go, baby. Ooh, congrats. Good luck. Let's go, Mariners. We don't quit. Can't stop, won't stop. Let's go. KK in the building. What's good? And again, there's a difference between true, real fans and fans that, are just, only along for the ride when the team is good. And again, a lot of Mariner fans, content creators, they're going to quit, after last night. And pretty much, it's not fully eliminated, from the playoff picture. But, I mean, if you're actually looking at the numbers, yesterday could have been the, that last nail in the coffin. But again, we're going to still grind it out as much as we can with this NFL schedule. And again, I've had a good time watching this team grow. Things have not gone our way with the J.P. Crawford, Julio injury, but J.P. singles into center field. I like that. Good start for J.P. And another thing I do like out of Dan Wilson, we moved Victor Robles out of the 9-hole to the 7-hole to get him some more at-bats because he is one of our better hitters. So nice job. I would have not minded J.P. in the 9, but we're going to put Rojas there. And when he was there at the beginning of the year in April and May, he was batting 300 to 350. So Rojas in the 9. Obviously, we got Victor from the 9 to the 7, and then JP leading us off with a nice single to get us started. Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. Bring that electricity, baby. We need it. First pitch is outside. 1-0 count. Let's go. Let's go, M's. Let's get it, man. And again, there's going to be different levels of fans that only want to be around when things are good. But a true fan is going to be able to stomach the bad losses and still wear the gear, still rock the gear, and still be a little disappointed, but still have that pride that, again, you got to go through these bad times in life before you can actually cherish the good times. And if you're a bandwagon fan and you're always winning championships every year, you get numb to it. But if you're a fan like us here in the Pacific Northwest, all we want is one championship. Like, we don't even need 5 or 10 in our lifetimes to be like complete. Like, give us one and we will be complete as Duck fans, as Mariner fans, and obviously Kraken fans now, even though that franchise is just brand new, and then obviously if you get one, we get a taste of it, we want another. But if it never happens, at least you get the one, and we got that with the Blazers, and I'm probably not going to see another one in my lifetime there. Julio over his head, baby, all the way back to the wall. JP hustled the third. Here we go. Good start here for the M's. Kryptonian in the building. What's good? $5 holla. I appreciate you very, very much. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Little Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. Let's go. Appreciate you. Let me know what you want to do for photos. If you got something special you want to see, athlete-wise, wrestler-wise, whatever your favorite thing is right now, that you want to be able to see, you let me know. I got you. Appreciate you. We're at $5 holla, 95 to go. Kryptonian, I appreciate you. Let's go. Top of the first, 0-0 Mariners and A's. And again, if we would have went strikeout here in the top of the first, yeah, I guarantee there'd be a lot of Mariner fans watching at home that probably would turn the channel and get a little irritated and pissed off. But we also have to be able to showcase the bright spots. Like this guy right here, big dumper, Cal Raleigh, the MVP. Yeah, his batting average is some shit at 205, but he's got 28 homers, 82 ribbies, number one on the team. And believe it or not, within the first 3 years, he's already tied for fourth overall with Johnny Bench with the most home runs in his first 3 years. Cal gets another RBI, and here we go, 2-0 Mariners. You talk good about a guy, he's like, you know what? Damn right I'm good. I'm going to end up being maybe the number one catcher in home runs in the first 3, 4, 5 years. And again, number one is Mike Piazza, right? You got obviously Johnny Bench is there, and then you got a couple old school guys that people have never heard of unless you know baseball history. And then you get Cal Raleigh in that mix as well. 25 multi-RBI games this season. Let's go. Mariners record 19-5 when Cal does that. Let's go, Cal Raleigh. The better Cal does, the better the Mariners will do. Let's go. Next up, left fielder, Randy Arozarena. And you couldn't ask for a better start after getting our hearts ripped out yesterday. Anytime, we end up struggling and it takes us into the 6th or 7th inning to get our first hit or our first run, it makes you want to pull your fucking hair out. Again, there's all these other teams that don't understand what it's like to be in the position like us. Yes, we're blessed with one of the best pitching staffs, top 3, right? But as far as our hitting is concerned, being towards the bottom 5 and in some categories last, it hurts because if you actually look at the talent level that we actually have some pretty good players. If you actually ask baseball fans of other teams, hey, would you pluck any of our players? Yeah, I know the batting averages are kind of some shit. And yeah, we know the bullpen is some shit. But, we got Troy Taylor now kind of being the seawall. Munoz is a stud. But, even if you're not familiar with that many guys other than Julio or Cal, we got some guys, right? And it's just a matter of being able to improve this roster enough over the years and bring up the farm guys to find the right combination, right? And then understand, when you deactivate guys in the middle of the year like the Houston Astros did, look what they did. They deactivated 2 of their studs, and obviously they took about a $40 million hit in payroll. Mariners would never do that. And what happened? They ended up winning because they want to contend now, right? And right now, we're going to be owing Mitch Haniger and Mitch Garver like $27 million, next year. Those are guys that you probably, if you were serious of really trying to turn shit around, probably should have deactivated those guys, or at least one of them, right? And then try to actually win. I mean, we went in for it with Randy. We went in for it with Justin Turner, brought in Jimmy Garcia, JT Chargois, but it was cool right when it happened and Victor Robles has emerged. And it was cool for about, a week and a half. But after that honeymoon phase kind of ended, we're right back where we were in a slump. And then we fired Scott Service, a little bit of juice, with Dan Wilson, and then it kind of wore off again. It's like we continuously need this shot in the arm to compete, and it should naturally be there. So that tells me we don't have the right guys on the team. You need those raw guys that give you that energy and that juice, and it's not like, it goes in one ear, out the other, like, oh, look at this guy. He's like the, coach's pet. He's trying to suck up and shit. No, you just want leadership, and you want this leadership to rub off on the other guys and hold these guys to a higher standard. And hopefully we can end up doing that. But so far, so good. Hearts ripped out last night, 2-0 Mariners, top of the first, runner at second with 1 out, and we got our boy Nuke Raley in the box. And even though we're 69-69, probably the most unserious team in baseball, right? It's like we could be so much better. We left so much on the table. I've really enjoyed the roster. Yeah, the wins haven't been there, but if we're just talking about players on the team, it's been one of the more enjoyable rosters, even though it's not where it needs to be for us to succeed. But at least we're going in the right direction, and the farm guys are getting closer and closer and closer of coming up, and we can replace some of these guys like Garver and Haniger, maybe even Polo, and then get some new blood in there, and maybe that will be the right combination in 2025 and beyond. I mean, it's fucking got to be, right? I mean, we can't go through misery every single fucking year, and we don't want to go through another drought of 10 or 20 years of not making the playoffs, right? Made the playoffs after 20 years, and now we're back-to-back years back where we were. We want to change that scenario. 3-1 pitch to Nuke Raley, right down the middle. 3 balls and 2 strikes from Ginn to Raley. But at least we got some things to be able to, kind of smile about. Like Cal Raleigh arguably might be the best catcher in baseball. Like as the home runs and the RBIs and the defense and the leadership, obviously there's always going to be guys like Adley Rutschman who's going to be more popular. Went to Oregon State. He's on the fucking Orioles. They have baseball cards, all these like different, autograph patch cards. I mean, he's a hot guy, right? He's got the name. He's on the right team, but again, if we're going to break down stats other than just batting average, Cal is, like right there with him. And I really do think as Salvador Perez gets a little bit older on the Royals and retires or starts to wind down, you should be able to see Cal and Adley, and it'll probably be Adley starting, Cal as a backup. But I feel at some point, Cal will be a starter in the All-Star game. It's just a matter of, do we have the right players around him, not just Julio, but other guys that are better to make not only him better, but when he ends up cranking in these fucking home runs, they're 3-run blasts instead of solo shots. And it'll get him a lot more pub as well. The better we do, the more our players are going to get recognized. 1-0 pitch to Jorge Polanco. Chop that one foul, 1 ball in 1 strike. But again, there's a lot of guys that, definitely could be upgraded or replaced. I need to be able to see some heart, from JP. We obviously know with Polo, defense is not his strong suit, but the hitting's been a little bit better. Garver probably shouldn't be on the team. Haniger as well. So we just got to be able to write it out with our guys, pray that they play with a lot of passion and they actually want to represent for Seattle. And then I guess we'll go into next season and see what we got on the table and who we want. But again, 1-run games, a big problem for the Mariners. And again, if you go back prior to the All-Star break to after, that's really where our good luck kind of got turned off. And this is a damn shame because we actually have good players on this team. But again, it shows you it's more than just the players. You have to find the right batting order, the right strategy. You got to be able to bunt more. You got to be able to steal more bags. And if you end up having the right manager that can teach these things, how essential it is when you get a guy on first for him to get to second or third by stealing those bags, it gives you like a 70% higher chance to score runs when you do that, when you're effective. You still need that next guy to get the hit, but it's just like almost, like intuitive. Oh shit, the guy's on third now instead of first. I better get the RBI, big swing and a miss. Down goes Polo. But I am excited for the future and hopefully things get a little bit better. But at least, with all the bad shit that's been happening to us here in the Pacific Northwest, at least Cal Raleigh coming up clutch again early in the game. 2-0 Mariners. Nice job. And Luis Castillo, out of all our pitchers, is going to need it. Because not only does he have Garver catching today, you're probably not going to get a whole lot of hits from him either, right? But Luis is very hit or miss. So we're going to find out. Is he going to give up 1 to 4 runs within the first 3 innings? And if he can come out clean and only give up 2 runs or less within the first 4 innings, maybe we'll have a good chance here today. I mean, ideally giving up nothing, but this is Luis Castillo, and our pitching staff at times will be a little bit shaky. But hopefully he feels a little swagger and confidence here today. Go to the bottom of the first inning, see who's up next here for the A's. And then I'll get some photos up here as well. And I really like the first 4 batters here of the A's. They've played really well since the All-Star break. Right fielder, Lawrence Butler. He's got some good statistics in the MLB ranks. He's been going very, very well. Batting second, their best player, sometimes and obviously putting up top 10 stats, DHing Brett Rooker. JJ Bleday, he'll get you some doubles all day. And then obviously I gave too many compliments to Shea Langoliers of the Sports Gods with this batting helmet with the yellow trim. And I love this green apple jersey. And then he decides to end up hitting 2 home runs, a 3-run blast, and a walk-off. Shame on you, Shea. I mean, I really like the picture and the jersey combo, but you didn't have to do me dirty like that. But I do appreciate that even though Oakland isn't a good team, they're better than last year's version. And Butler, Rooker, Bleday, and Langoliers, they could actually be on a lot of teams in MLB. It just so happens that they're on the A's. But again, everyone below them, not so much. But Butler, Rooker, Bleday, and Langoliers, I mean, those guys are some studs. Big facts. Let's go, baby. Yeah, it hasn't been easy, my guy. It has not been easy. Yeah, I definitely will. Vamos Mariners. Go Mariners. Ana from Mexico in the building. What's good? Oh, we got to take advantage. Was it the Reds again? Sarah in the building. What's good? Bottom of the first, 2-0. Mariners. 1-1 count from Castillo to Butler. We're at $5 hairs, 95 to go. 373. Oh, he's making you bust out the calculator early. Castillo with a heater. Butler, big swing and a miss. 1-2 count. Thank you. I appreciate you. Stacks on stacks. Racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. 373. We're going to the grocery store, and we're getting fruits, and we're getting vegetables, and we're getting salad, and we're getting all kinds of different materials. We're getting meats. You know, you got to go to the meat section, and you got to look. Oh, there's one for $8.78, and there's one for $9.23. Give me the $8.78. Appreciate you. $5.22. Let's go. 2-2 count. That one chopped foul by Butler. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack. $5.22. Appreciate you with the $5.22. We're at 14. 86 to go. Let's go. Yeah, it's definitely possible. I mean, but you got to think we got the Astros and the Yankees this month. So the rest of the series definitely look winnable on paper, but the way that we played as of late, hell, we can't even beat the A's or the White Sox or the Angels. So if we can't really beat teams like that, I mean, what is going to make us beat some of the other teams that are like, you know, mid or like, you know, halfway good, halfway bad? Butler, back, gone. Not the start that we wanted. My goodness. Oh, my. Luis Castillo, he's like, man, I was hoping that wasn't going to happen. Butler says, do you know who I am? I'm Lawrence Butler, baby. Right fielder, solo dinger, goodbye. 2-1 Mariners. Well, at least I guess it makes it exciting for, you know, baseball fans and A's fans that you're getting a back and forth. Ah, that's tough. I even had to dig out the old vintage Louisville Slugger from my childhood, right? 125. Right? Nice hit there, Brent Rooker. But I had to hit you with the old Louisville Slugger with the Ken Griffey Jr. auto. Hey. Somebody's got to hit for this team, you know? If it ain't going to be them, it's got to be me. It's got to be us. Somebody. Nice little solo dinger by Lawrence Butler. And then obviously we got Brent Rooker doing Brent Rooker things. A single with no outs, 2-1 Seattle. And again, we'll find out what kind of Castillo we have here today if he ends up giving up 1 to 4 runs in the first 3 innings, and he's already at 1. Next up, a double machine, center fielder J.J. Bleday. Calm down, J.J. We need a double play. A double play on Bleday. But it is possible. I just hope we win regardless if I do the stream or not. But I will be watching every game. And if I don't watch it live, I watch it on replay on the DVR. 0-1 pitch. That one chopped. A Rosarina is there. 1 away. There we go. Megan throwing it down. He says, these little donos are making the migraine worse. Throw the hammer down. Throw the hammer. Thor's hammer has been dropped down all the way from Australia, making everyone in America look silly. $100 dono. Thank you so much for your love, your support for me and Paisley. Thank you so much. And, you know, we get big ones, and sometimes there'll be smaller ones. But the bottom line is, even if it's as small as 99 cents, we love it. But we really, really love when they can get to be 20, 50, 100, and beyond. Thank you so much. Stacks on stacks, Rex on Rex, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. We'll be doing USC photos for Megan until tomorrow. Thank you so much. And we'll get photos for Kryptonian. We'll also get photos for Reflect from yesterday as well as Megan. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Mariners, runner at second. 1 out. That one crushed by Shea Langoliers. Shea Langoliers should be in the business of chandeliers. Chandeliers by Langoliers. They should have looked into that, right? It's the only thing that rhymes with it, and you could have ended up making a big profit with chandeliers to rich people, like rappers. Come on, Shay. Maybe he has a business after all, after MLB is over. I know that's what I would be doing if I had a last name like Langoliers. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Seattle, runner at second, 1 away. Castillo, 13 pitches in, 1-2 count to Shay. Oh, we can do that. Now, are we talking about like Gambit on like X-Men 97, or are we talking about like in Wolverine and Deadpool? Like, let's be a little specific with the Gambit. What specific Gambit do you want? You know, or just Gambit vintage, you know, obviously through like comic books from back in the day. there's a lot of gambit that's out there. Any gambit. Ooh. Make me dig a little bit to try to find some cool stuff. All right, I like it. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Seattle. Runner at second, 1 out, 2-2 pitch from Castillo de Langeliers. Dribbles it down third base, foul. 2 balls and 2 strikes to Shea Langeliers. Record in 1-run games this season, 23-23 for the Mariners, 21-22 for the Athletics. Not good. Let's go. 90s cartoon gambit is goated. I agree. I like that one too a lot. Obviously, if you collected comic books back in the day too, pretty cool. When you go back and look to see where kind of cartoons and comic books were and the influence that it's had on pop culture now. G.I. Joe, Transformers, Ninja Turtles, Marvel, DC, and anything in between, as well as Star Wars. That'll be something that never dies. Bottom of the first, 2-1 Mariners, runner at second with 1 out. Castillo, 95 miles an hour on that 4-seam fastball. Shea dribbles it foul, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Langeliers is trying to work this count and trying to slow down Luis so he can get pulled by the 3rd inning. I see your strategy, Shea. Come on now. I do really like this batting helmet and jersey, but you can't be hitting me with 2 home runs, let alone a home run, a 3-run blast. That already ripped my heart out once, and then a walk-off at the end. But I definitely believe that most Mariner fans think that Castillo has dropped to the 4 or the 5. He is no longer our number 1. And we continued to kind of have him as the opening day pitcher, which kind of baffled me. Doing it when we first got him, fine. Maybe in 2023 after we got him and went to the playoffs, but they should have been smarter this year to put probably Kirby or Gilbert as the 1, so the rotation would have been a little bit different. And then Wu maybe at 3, Miller at 4, Castillo at 5. Or if you want to go Castillo at 4, Miller at 5, I don't mind that either. But definitely Wu, Kirby, and Gilbert are our best 3. And I don't see Miller or Castillo ever being in the top 3. Maybe Miller because he's younger, but Castillo is kind of getting up there in age. Langeliers strikes out swinging. We like that. No home run today, Shea, but there's still a lot of game left. Next up, left fielder, Seth Brown. Big swing and a miss. Was trying to rip a homer there. 235 average, 12 homers, and 38 ribbies for Seth Brown. Hopefully it'll be a easy pop-up or ground out, and we can get out of this inning. And then I'm going to be doing pictures for Kryptonian and Reflect and Megan probably for the next 2 days straight. How does that sound? I have no problem with that. 0-1 pitch, popped up. Here we go. You ask and you shall receive. Randy Arozarena is there in left field. And goodbye. You leave one stranded, but the damage is done. Could have been a lot worse, but at least it was only 1 home run. But it seems like the A's, when you got, the first 4 guys in the lineup all look like they can hit 20 to 35 home runs in a year. And they're showing that, hey, even though they're going to be moved, to Las Vegas, and we only get like 600 fans that show up to a game, they got some pretty good players. Like, I wouldn't mind Lawrence Butler on the Mariners. I damn well would love Brent Rooker. JJ Bleday is a double machine, and obviously, as of late, Shea has been the killer to the Mariners. Okay, I see you guys. Let's see who's up next here for the Seattle Mariners. And then I got a lot of photos here I got to throw up here. Next up for the Mariners, in the 7 hole, instead of the 9, I like it, right fielder Victor Robles. Batting second, catching today in the 8 hole, Mitch Garver. We'll see if this is a smart move or not, but we don't have another backup catcher. Should have never let go of Tom Murphy. And then batting third baseman, Josh Rojas. Let's go. Let's go. See what throwbacks we can find. And we'll get some current stuff of like Moss and, you got some specific players, and we're going to get the Gambit on there too. We got a couple different commercial breaks that we'll be able to go in here. And Kryptonian, let me know what you want for photos, Reflect. I know you don't really care about photos that much, but if there's anything that you want to be able to see Husky-wise, you let me know. Commercials don't last very long, but I'll make sure I get everyone taken care of. All different variations of Pete in different ages with the hair, you can tell. Victor Robles in the box, and hopefully we can get going here. Let's go, baby. And we got Gambit up next, and then Kryptonian Reflect. Anything you want to see, you let me know. He said Shane Falco. Okay, we can do that. I like the Shane Falco. Anytime you can end up getting athletes in movies, it's always kind of a nice change of pace, because we all have Willie Beeman, right? And all these different guys that we, rooting, in different movies and whatnot that we remember from that sometimes end up being pretty iconic, whether it ends up being like an Adam Sandler comedy or something even more. Top of the second, 2-1 Mariners. Robles grounds out, 1 away. It's okay, Victor. I like you in the 7-hole. Should get you more opportunities throughout the game. Next up, catcher Mitch Garver. Can we get you to bat at least 200 before the season ends? And that's, he's at 164. So again, things would have to turn around, but it's still doable. 164 to 200, but there has to be effort made. He's got 12 home runs and 40 ribbies, right? But again, the batting average should be much higher than that. Again, that's, one piece, one cog in the wheel of the problem, but there's a lot more of a problem than just Mitch Garver. It's the whole team. But again, it doesn't help when you got someone in the starting lineup that's batting under 200, but we have no choice. No Sebi Zavala, no Tom Murphy. Mariners organization made that decision. But on the bright side, Mariner fans, we got a guy named Harry Ford, which I know a lot of us in the farm system know about, and he has a chance to be a star like Cal. Kind of built more like a Buster Posey, as Cal is more of a Mike Piazza. So you got one guy that's got the big dumper, and then you got another guy who's going to be kind of a singles hitter, but a defensive wizard as well, and a guy that could play, third base, second base, shortstop if we needed him to, and Harry Ford. So, or DH. So I like the opportunity, even though Harry is more of a catcher and DH guy. If you needed him to play another position, he's an athlete. And a lot of our guys can do that are in the farm. But definitely wondering where that is going to end up for the Mariners, because actually having Harry Ford being the backup catcher rather than Garv would probably be better even today. 3-1 pitch from Ginn to Garver. Pitch is outside, and we'll take that. That's a successful at-bat right there. There we go. Getting hit by a pitch or taking a walk, we'll take it. Garver with the walk at first, and that's definitely a bonus today. Next up, third baseman, Josh Rojas. Let's go, Hollywood. Which one did you, which one? The steak and the peanut butter? Is that what you want? You want to be able to show that you got some weird eating habits, bro? Is that what you want? I've never heard of that. Must be like a younger generation TikTok thing. But putting peanut butter on steak, it's like I get people that put ketchup on there, people that like it well done, but then you're not getting the flavor out of it. And as you get older, your taste buds will change. You don't necessarily need to be a caveman and have it be bloody, but there's a reason why medium rare is the best. But well done and peanut butter on top. I don't know, man. I don't know if that's a TikTok thing. I don't know if that's a Hawaiian thing. I don't know if that's a younger generation thing. But if you want me to throw up a picture of what your dinner looked like yesterday with peanut butter spread on top of steak bites, I guess I will. Force out to second, double play. Got him. Yeah, we'll have to do that at some other point, my guy. Yeah, especially with Megan being, obviously not meat-oriented. Maybe we'll do that at the end of the broadcast. Maybe after Megan ends up having to leave, and we have all called it a day, then maybe we'll throw it up at that point. But I don't know if I would be, I don't think I would be doing, peanut butter, they have peanut butter sauce like at Killer Burger, right? You can end up having a hamburger that's got the peanut butter oil. It's not necessarily peanut butter spread on a burger, but you get the peanut butter oil, and that's bomb. but actual peanut butter, on top of the steak, I don't know about that, my guy. I mean, there's definitely a lot of combinations that you can have, but I'm not sure about that one. Let me see what we can get here for photos now. 2-1 Mariners in the bottom of the second. Gambit is a dope character. But I love cartoons. It might be like one of my favorite things in life. Like, no matter how old I get, I still find myself watching at least an hour every day. Usually vintage cartoons, to bring me back to my childhood, but also stuff that's current, that's out now. Like if they made something good of like Rick and Morty and it was new, oh yeah, I'd be all over that. It just kind of depends on what it is. And then, what we're talking about. Are we talking about like an X-Men 97, or are we talking, something like Simpsons, Family Guy, Bob's Burgers, obviously with the King of the Hill and the King of the Hill reboot that's coming out, and Bobby is supposed to be like 20 to 22. I can't wait for that. But they did have a couple people pass away from the original cast, which is shitty. But, we'll see on how that ends up working out. You got to be able to go through some more. Popped up by Zach Geloff, one away. Since I don't have anything saved on the Gambit side, it's going to take me a minute because I'm going to have to actually find it and then format it and then put it in the chat. But I'll get you taken care of, and then we'll get some Shane Falco, and we'll see what Reflex got as well. Nightcrawler's badass too. Yeah, I mean, I imagine that combination of the sweet and savory, because sweet and savory does go together. I'm just, for me, I don't know. I guess back in the day, I had different type of taste buds, like would I ever dip my steak in ketchup maybe when I was younger? Yeah, maybe, but obviously now it's like they got A1 and barbecue sauce and stuff like that. But everyone's got different habits, my guy. If you like it, do you. If that's something that you love, keep being you, and it might end up tasting better than what it looks like in the picture, but everyone's got a different way to get their protein and then their flavor, right? It's all about Flavor Town. I mean, I watch Gordon Ramsay shows all day and Food Network and anything food related. So combinations that seem kind of weird that end up tasting good, I've experienced a few, especially watching Gordon Ramsay and a lot of those Food Network programs. Bottom of the second, 2-1 Mariners. Next up with 2 outs is Max Schumann. Like, sub, donate, comment, share, help your boy out. I haven't seen where we're at the likes, but we're approaching 1 hour, 18 minutes to go, and hopefully we're at least at 15 likes. And if we're not, if you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. Hopefully we can get to 20 in that first hour and 15 minutes. Let's go, baby. Oh, I'll be able to get them. I just got to be able to go through. I'll just try to sprinkle in a bunch of your favorites. And I absolutely love Crushed Foul that you guys are wearing the 90s throwback game 1 against the Broncos. And you're wearing them on a holiday game against the Niners, because you can wear them now twice a year. And I fucking love that. I love 80s and 90s starter throwback looks that the NFL brings back, especially with colors like the Hawks with that blue and that gray. It's so good that it should be like their regular uniform. I know it probably will never be, but it's pretty cool that they're bringing it back. And not only you get to wear it more than once a year. Big punch out there by Castillo. I like it, baby. Let's try to get some more photos up. Top of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Next up will be J.P. Crawford. After J.P. will be Julio Rodriguez. And then back to the top of the order with the RBI that brought in the 2 runs, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. All right, let's see what else we can find here. But I'm a big King of the Hill, type of person. So when that new one comes out, oh man, that will be really good. And just to be able to see Hank and Bobby, like, a little older, some of the cartoons like The Simpsons, Bart's been 10 for, 30, 40 years, and that's how it's always going to be. But to be able to see like Bobby at 20, 22, Well, and the way that he talks, and like, if he plays football, if he's a center or whatever it may be, like to be able to see, if he works at the propane store with his dad, if his dad still works there, I imagine it's going to be very, very good. And we can go from the movie. And I'll get you Shane Falco here in a second, Kryptonian. Back at the top of the order with JP Crawford. So, I'm going to get one more here. Top of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Next up is JP Crawford. JP pops that one up. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One-two pitch. Pitch is high. 2 balls and 2 strikes. JP pops up into right field. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, 1-0 count, Julio Rodriguez, 1 for 1 with a double in the first and a run. Got to multitask. Got to make sure we get those pictures thrown in there. Mostly we'll try to get them through the commercial break, but I want to make sure everyone's happy. We're not missing anything. I'll still call the game. Little slow dribbler by Julio. That one goes foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wow. Schwartz got 5 hits and 3 homers. Damn. What's good, Zay? Oh, yeah. Archer's great. The writing in Archer and the smart ass back and forth. Very good. Definitely more of an adult cartoon. If you got if you got young children around, Archer probably isn't the best to have in the background. But it definitely, I've watched quite a few. I'm not sure if I've watched every single episode, but I'm up there with the episodes. At least till up to, at least to up, I think about a year ago or 2 years ago. I'm not sure if they keep putting out new stuff every year with Archer, but I enjoyed, what I saw when they, put it out. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Oh, nice. Twins lost. That's good for you. Yes. I also remember Hacksaw Jim Duggan as well. Oh, popped up to right field. 2 away. Next time, Julio. Next up for the Mariners, DHing, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. And again, if he can keep raking at these home runs, he does have a chance to be number 1 all time in the first 3 years out of any Major League Baseball player. I think if he gets like 7 or 8 more home runs before the season ends to catch up to Mike Piazza, who's number 1. But again, it just feels like if he can get his batting average up higher, he's a guy that could hit potentially, 30 to 50 home runs, here and there, depending on, who he has around him, in the lineup. If we end up getting really good quality players like a Bryce Harper type or a Trey Turner type, like getting more pieces, a Mookie or a Freddie type to add to the Mariners at some point to help Cal out in the lineup, but it seems like, hitting 25, 30, 35, 40, like you would think, if you were going back a couple years, you would probably have said Julio would be a guy that would be more than likely to get 30, 40, 50 home runs. But as we've seen Julio regress in his 3rd year, you've seen obviously Cal kind of take, a step each year, getting better and better and better. And if Cal can get to a point where he can get his batting average to 250 to 300, he might be able to hit 30 to 50 home runs how many years in a row? Like, it could be something special. And he could end up, leading not only Major League Baseball for catchers, but if he ends up getting to that 40, 50 range, he might end up being top 5 with like guys like Ohtani and Judge. That would be incredible for a guy like Cal Raleigh on the Mariners. Chopper to foul by a big dumper. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Cal pops up. Should be a routine play. 2 players converging, and they drop it. Hell yeah. Big dumper getting lucky there. Hell yeah. You just got to be able to pop it up. You have 2 players converge. They don't want to run into each other like the White Sox did today. And then, boom, we end up getting a free bag out of Cal Raleigh. Nice job. Nice little bloop single. We'll take it. Next up, left fielder Randy Arozarena. First swing, lazy, behind in the count, 0-1. Come on, baby. Bring that electricity, Randy. Don't give me a half-ass swing. Give me a full swing. Let's go. It's not like you're going to be hitting home runs anyways. We need hard-hit singles or bloop singles, and you run hard to first with effort. You can get on base that way, too. 1 for 5 this series. Top of the 3rd, 2-1 Mariners. Runner at first. Pitch on the corner for a strike. Behind in the count now, 0-2. Don't get discouraged, Randy. Could have prevented that if you didn't have that weak-ass swing, that lazy swing on that first pitch. Let's go, baby. Oh, I got to get better photos, though. Too blurry for my liking. Big, lazy swing again. Strike 3 on Randy Arozarena. I mean, there's a lot of baseball, basketball, football, hockey movies that I love. Everyone's got their own favorite, and favorite quotes and things. So I got one of Jimmy's favorite quotes here. But obviously Sandlot, a lot of people go that, or, everyone's got their own kind of particular vibe on which one they like the best. There's not really a, right or wrong answer, Obviously Hoosiers is great for college basketball, and you got, Sandlot is always good, and you got many, many baseball, movies. I mean, probably more quality baseball movies than any other sport. Football, you got Rudy and a few others. Kind of, I guess, depends if you like old school or if you like new school. And that actually kind of relates to life right now too. It's supposed to be hard. If it wasn't hard, everyone would do it, like dreams and goals, right? The hard is what makes it great at the end of the day. When you work hard and then you finally get, some traction and you get some recognition and then you start growing and, you can make a difference in life. And not only your life, right, but you can make a difference in other people's lives. That's what it's about. Next up for the A's, shortstop Jacob Wilson. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Agreed. Field of Dreams, always good. I guess it just kind of depends on what mood you're in. Like, I feel like if you're looking in more of like a serious, kind of vibe, like adult vibe, that'll be more of like a Field of Dreams, but then if you're kind of more in like a kid vibe and imagining yourself being like in Little League and being a kid, then obviously the Sandlot will give you like little kid vibes and give you a piece of your childhood if you're over 40, and you remember those times where you played baseball, at the school or with the neighbors or at the parks. And I definitely got memories of that, and that I kind of connected that movie just as much as any other sport movie as well. 1-0 pitch from Castillo to Butler. Chop foul, 1 ball and 1 strike. Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. And if you're just tuning in the top of the first, Cal Raleigh doubled to center. Crawford scored and Julio scored, 2-0 Seattle. Then Butler in the bottom of the first homered, 408 feet. And then it's 2-1. So I don't know if we're going to get a 4-4 score and a 5-4 win, like in this photo here. He said 4-4, unless he's trying to go 4-for-4. Maybe that's the case as well. But Lawrence Butler has been hot since the All-Star break. He's been very good. Very underrated with him and Rooker. Him and Rooker, arguably, as far as a 1-2 punch, is one of the top 5 in baseball since the All-Star break, believe it or not. You got guys, with like Mookie and like Ohtani, and you know a lot of the big 1-2 or 1-2-3-4s in lineups, right? The first 2 or the first 4 guys, but it's surprising on how good Butler and Rooker have been. Rooker at one point was putting up top 5, top 10 stats overall, but Butler is kind of a lower name even than Rooker, and he started to kind of catch fire and fed off Rooker's dominance. And they've been a big 1-2 punch for the A's to make this team better, as well as J.J. Bleday getting a lot of doubles and the 3-hole, and then guys like Shea Langoliers coming out of nowhere and trying to rip the heart out of Seattle Mariner fans yesterday with a 3-run blast and a game-winning walk-off. Shame on you, Shea. 3-2 pitch. Chop that one foul. Count remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. That one chop foul. Butler working the count. 4-seam, sinker, 4-seam. Castillo kind of has a pattern. Let's see what he does here. And again, 1 to 4 runs within the first 3 innings. That kind of sets the tone on, is Castillo going to get pulled in the 4th, 5th, or 6th? Or is he going to get pulled in the 1st, 2nd, or 3rd? So if he can get out of this inning unscathed, we're looking pretty good. We got a 1-run lead. It's not over yet. We still need a lot more production offensively, but we do have 4 hits and 2 runs to their 1 run and 2 hits, right? No errors apiece for either team. So, hopefully we drop a bunt down or 2, and hopefully, we can steal some bags and move guys over from 1st to 2nd, 2nd to 3rd, because if we have aggressive base running, it'll really help us out. Some more what? Yeah. I had a crazy thing happen to me this morning. I don't know if it's ever happened to you guys. If you guys listen to like white noise and you guys listen to like rain or like the ocean crashing, sometimes I'll go on YouTube and I'll have that playing as we have a slow dribbler to Polo, throw to first to Rayleigh, 2 away. But all of a sudden my phone, it turned off in the middle of the night, and then I woke up this morning, right? And my phone was at 0, but it wouldn't take a charge. So I was thinking, I have only had this phone for about 1.5 years. Is the battery dead? By me listening to this like white noise and this noise at night to like calm me and Paisley when we go sleep. right? And then I tried my backup charger, and that one wasn't working. So I was like, fucking A, am I going to have to get a new phone? Because I still owe like, I think 180 on it, which isn't too much. It would be like 6 more months of $30 a month on it, but I was thinking, okay. So I end up going to the T-Mobile store, and then the trick is trying to get me to, get like a new phone. But not only that, she's like, how about you get 2 phones? I'm like, how about not? Like, and do I look like I can afford 160 a month? And why would I need another phone? So eventually I just ended up getting a charger and a block. And these guys are so smart that the block is $20 and the wire is $20. When you get a new cell phone, it comes all included. But these guys are so smart, that they are money grubbing people that they literally made the wire and the block separate. Of course they would, right? So I end up paying $40. But luckily, I said, hey, let's open it up here and see if it actually charges. And it did. But, and then after I charged it, I was like, okay, my phone is going to go to shit. And it's going to go from 100% to 50% within like an hour. And usually when that happens, your battery is fucked and you need to end up getting a new cell phone. But luckily, once the charge went through, it's holding like, it was just the chargers. But it's weird because I've never had water damage or it's dirty. I haven't dropped it. Kind of weird. Popped up for Brent Rooker, flied out to right. Victor Robles is there, and that is out number 3. But luckily, it ends up being a cheap fix rather than me having to pay an insane amount and some chick trying to get me to get 2 phones and pay $160 a month. No, I can't afford that. I told her all I want is just to get a phone that works at this point. She's like, you can go to the repair center in Salem. I was like, I got my dog in the car. It's like, I'm not going to be able to go from, the Beaverton area to Salem to go to phone repair, and luckily with this particular charger, seems like it's a fix, but I just thought it was kind of weird that not only did my charger like stop working and it's like a brand new charger, it doesn't have like a wire issue where you got to prop it up with like a book or you got to wiggle it up or wiggle it down when it gets loose. Everyone that's had an iPhone or an Android knows what I'm talking about. When the charger gets fucked at the end, it's like you're wiggling it to get the right position to charge it. It wasn't like that. And I got a brand new one, that was in the, in my drawer, and both of them didn't work. And then all of a sudden I take it there, they turn on the little tablet, they have like a remote charger that's like a little circle pad. She puts it on there and then all of a sudden it works. So I don't know, but that's what I ended up spending, my good chunk of my morning. That's why I didn't post my stream that I was going to be streaming at like 8 a.m. I had to actually get my phone to work. And, by the time it was around like lunchtime, then I actually had a charge on it. But I'll tell you what, when you don't have a phone and then you have a phone, like you definitely, don't want to take for granted, your personal computer, which is pretty much your phone with all your applications and everything like that. So, but I think at this point with these issues that I'm having, I'm probably going to try to pay off this phone within a month or 2. And then just try to upgrade and get a new one because I don't want to be able to be stuck with no phone. No phone, no good. Big facts. Go Mariners. Next up for the Mariners is Luke Raley. Let's go, Luke. So far, so good. Top of the 4th. 2-1 Mariners. Let's go, Nuke Raley. 1-0 pitch to Nuke. Little dribbler. Throw to first. 1 away. Next up for the Mariners, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. Let's go, Polo. You're due for a homer. Let's go, Polo. Oh, you do? I never used to do it, but once I figured out what rain, video that I like the best, like the tone of the rain, because sometimes you'll have it off like a tent, or if it's just hitting the ground at a different location, and also with waves at the beach. Like there's different wave crashing sounds of live video that sound better than others. So once you end up finding like your right rain and right waves for summer, rain for fall and spring, it definitely, it gives you those vibes based off the frequency, because that's what we are. We live off the frequency. Popped up, Polo, 2 away. But I feel that like it definitely makes you sleep better and deeper. And I feel like there's like relaxation, healing properties, especially with the frequencies, compared to just sleeping to like your TV on or nothing. Next up for the Mariners, right fielder Victor Robles. We're 5 games back. Red Sox, Tigers 4.5. Mariners 5 games back. Orioles, Twins, and Royals leading the wild card race. Big swing and a miss for Victor Robles. 0-1 count. That one chopped behind the plate, foul. 0-2 count. Oh, okay. Yeah, I never, Victor Robles, strike 3, he's gone. But I never thought, that I would be able to sleep on a, because I always dream every night. And sometimes I dream more than once a night, and I remember my dreams. And I know some people dream only once in a while, or they kind of remember, what happened. But for me, like, my stuff is super, super vivid. Maybe that's why the sports gods like me, and they like communicate through me, like, tell me things, or I say something and then it happens or whatever. But like, I dream almost every night. Sometimes I'll wake up and then I'll go back to sleep and I'll be back in the same dream. Or sometimes I'll dream, wake up, and then I'll go into a different dream and then I'll remember, or I'll see friends or family, or I'll be in an unfamiliar place that seems familiar, like in some type of bar or neighborhood or house where I don't know where I am, but it seems familiar. It has familiar vibes. And then you end up having these dreams sometimes of people that you haven't seen in a long, long time. So I don't know, maybe that's just me, but I know some of y'all probably have the same experiences as well. Judah in the building, what's good? DX in the building, what's good? But the thing is, it wasn't the cord, so I don't know what's going on. It wasn't the, it was the cord, but the cords were brand new. They weren't like broken. So that's why I'm confused why the cords didn't work. And then the one that was in the, my dresser didn't work either. You would think the one in the dresser would at least work as the backup, but they both didn't work. Bang, bang, $5 holla. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. It's like they remotely sent a signal, to all of the chargers just to turn off. And then I had to go in and buy a new one, wire 20 and the block for 20. I literally spent $40 on a fucking charger, a standard charger, just because the other ones that I had that were pretty much brand new, for whatever reason, stopped working, even though I think it's more of like a battery issue. But apparently the battery isn't being drained while I'm using the phone. It's keeping a charge. So I don't know. I'm very confused. Something maybe supernatural going on in my house. I don't know. Bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Seattle. And for the Seahawks wearing those throwbacks, Shea Langoliers, 1 away. JJ Blade, see you later. Next up, Shea Langoliers. Let's go through this real quick. The Hawks wearing the throwback against the Broncos. And you'll be able to wear it against the Niners later in the year, which will be awesome. So we'll get Megan and Reflect a double dip right here, being Hawks fans. Hit you with the large and the Boz. And we got to make the most out of every broadcast. And if that means I got to squeeze in a few photos in between at bats, then that's what we're going to do. Appreciate you guys. The more photos, the better. Okay? You're still going to hear me with the audio call the game. So, bottom of the 4th, 2-1 Seattle. Nobody on, 1 out. Castillo, 48 pitches in, 0-1 pitch to Shea Langoliers. But I'll tell you what, waking up at 7 a.m. and finding out that your phone doesn't work, and then, definitely put me a little bit into a panic, and knowing that it would probably be okay, but just the fact that you don't have a phone, and then, is it the charger? Is it the battery? Are they going to try to make me get some new plan? Try to rip me off, try to get me to get 2 phones and pay $160 a month like I'm fucking some rich guy? Nice. Popped up into fair territory. Luke Raley running it down with that hustle, and we love Luke Raley with the hustle. Nice job. Nice job, Luke. Next up for the A's, left fielder Seth Brown. 0 for 1. Let's make it 0 for 2. Brown fouls that one off. 0-1 count. I mean, I always got to switch it up. Different jersey, cutoff shirt, different bandana. I got to mix things up for the Mariners here. Back. See ya! Seth Brown gets in on the party, but at least they're only solo jacks, not 2-run jacks, 3-run jumbo jacks, or grand salamis with the mustard and rye bread. It hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much, but it still hurts. Seth Brown with a homer. He said 0 for 2. How about 1 for 2, baby? And we're knotted up at 2-2 now. Next up for the A's, second baseman, Zach Geloff. And he's trying to go and get on his get-off, and obviously trying to see if he can get on base sooner than later. We're at 119. 81-2. And I haven't even got a chance to check to see where we're at on the likes. So hopefully that people have been showing love while I've been talking and throwing up photos. Where are we at? We're still way behind the 8 ball. That's why I hate reminding and having to do it like through my voice, because we already got Matt doing it on the chat. But sometimes you need like the chat, Matt, someone else, and then even me with the audio part. But we're at 16. So we only need 4 more to get 20. So if you are in the room and haven't smashed the like button yet, regardless if you're watching in the United States or globally, please do. Big swing and a miss. Fell off. See you later. Castillo with the punch out. And hopefully we can get to 20 here within the next maybe 15 to 20 minutes. Let's go, baby. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. And I know sometimes we get, caught up in the stream watching and commenting and just vibing, where sometimes we forget, to smash the like button and whatnot. But, I think the regulars are very good about it if they've forgotten to do it. And then hopefully we can get some of the newbies and the people that have subscribed that are kind of shy, and the people that haven't subscribed yet that are shy, that are just watching and not commenting, that if the only thing that you do tonight, if you can't donate, that's okay. If you don't want to share it on different platforms, that's okay as well. But if you can do the bare minimum, smash the like button, that helps the channel. It helps us grow, and it'll bring more quality people to this channel, which we want for the NWSF, right? We want good quality people, not the bad quality, not the bad eggs. We want the good ones, not the bad ones. Next up for the Mariners, catcher Mitch Garver, 0 for 0 with a walk. Batting second in the 9-hole, third baseman Hollywood Josh Rojas. And batting third, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Could this be the coach of the year in 2024? Definitely a top 5 or top 3 candidate for many, many people. Should be able to battle the Niners. And even if you don't win the division the very first or second year, feels like you could be really close, nipping at their heels, just waiting for them to fuck up, right? To take advantage. Baby Ravens incoming. And once that O-line and that defense gets firmed up, watch out. Whether it's Geno Smith or someone else, above and beyond. Because obviously we know after a few years, Sam won't be good enough to be the quarterback as a starter. If Sam is still on the team, he'll probably be the backup. But you're assuming that they're going to be looking in the draft or someone that is available in free agency that's a name that could, do what Geno essentially did, unless they end up getting someone homegrown or they end up getting someone, in the draft in the next year or two at some point. Because at some point, you're going to have to move on from Geno, but I feel at least for a year or two, he's going to be the best option until, we see what happens. And especially if they end up making the playoffs, they're not going to be a bad team where they're going to get like a top 5 pick, where they're going to be able to, have an opportunity at like a Quinn Ewers or an Arch Manning, unless they wanted to trade trade up and trade the whole farm for a guy like that, which I don't think would be something that they would do. But they will do the right research, and I'm excited to see what Geno can bring, even though some people still believe that he's not that good, but that tells me they haven't watched football. They definitely are just, watching, internet stuff, listening to, shows that are on NFL Network or ESPN or Fox Sports. But at the end of the day, you have to watch the games, from beginning to end. And when you watch them, it's not just, oh, I saw what he did in a 40-second clip. That doesn't tell the whole story of what happened in the whole game. They just plucked the moments that they wanted that were either good or bad and exploited those points. So I like Geno. I definitely think he's a top 12 quarterback. And if he can end up getting some good protection up front, I think he could be a top 10 quarterback this year. If he ends up struggling and there's injuries on the O-line or at running back or wide receiver or tight end, then he'll fall a little bit, but I don't see him falling any worse than 15th. So I think that even if he ends up having injuries around him, he can still be in the upper half of the league as a quarterback, and I would say that's pretty damn good. Big punch out there on Garv. Next up, Hollywood, Josh Rojas. We're knotted up at 2. Come on, Mariners, dig deep, baby. One out and nobody on. Top of the 5th, tied up at 2. Big swing and a miss for Rojas. 0-1 count. And we're bringing out Maurice early. We're not going to wait till we're down. We got to do it when we're tied or ahead. There he is. We got to change things. We got to get the Uncle Mo in our favor. He's got to be dancing in the corner, giving you the look. You the man. Yeah, okay. We got it. There we go. Now good vibes ahead for the Mariners. Now the electricity is going to come. 1 ball and 1 strike to Josh Rojas. Come on, Josh. He's been a little bit better in the box as of late. Rojas, line drive. There we go. A little bit of a deflection there, but we'll take it. Nice job. Castillo, you've done okay. 2 big home runs, but they were only solo shots. And Josh, nice job. Keep grinding away. Next up, shortstop back at the top of the order, J.P. Crawford. Let's go, J.P. JP crushes that one foul. A 1 count. Come on, JP. Top of the 5th, 2-2. Runner at first, 1 out. 1 for 2 with a single in the first and a run for JP Crawford. Still looking for his rhythm after coming back from a month and a half of missing action with a broken pinky from Tyler Anderson from the Angels. Is outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. 197 average, 9 homers here in 2024. Numbers way lower. And that was a big part of losing momentum with JP and Julio. But at least we got Victor Robles and Randy Arozarena and Justin Turner because of it. But again, not the most consistent year for the Mariners. We definitely left a lot on the table. And not being able to take care of the teams that we should have is the reason why we're not making the playoffs this year. But we're still going to grind it out at the very, very end. The percentage is very, very small. I think it's like 3 to 7% that we have a chance to make it. You need the Astros to absolutely collapse as well as a bunch of other teams, and the Mariners need to win, like literally 80 to 82% of the rest of the games. So it's like, for example, if you had like 30 games, they would have to go like 20-10 or 22-8. And I think most of us think that's not going to be possible, obviously, but we have hope, right? 2-2 pitch from Ginn to Crawford. Golly. Like that with the double play. Ay, ay, ay. All right, we're going to the top of the 6. We're still knotted up here at 2. See if I can find some more photos here. See if we can get a few more for reflecting for Megan. And if there's anybody that I'm missing, just let me know. The amount of button clicking that goes on in an NWSF stream compared to other streamers that do sports, the difference is large. But again, I like it because I know that I love visuals, and I know that if it's going to make somebody happy, you know, that's all that matters. Anything else that you want in the rotation, you let me know. Reflect, Megan, the people that have donated. Felix Hernandez, all-time leaders at the Coliseum with 13 wins, 132 Ks. Eric Hansen, what a name. 2.13 ERA. Edwin Diaz, our closer. Before our closer, Munoz now in Randy. Opponent average, the big unit. They didn't call him the big unit for nothing. 0.172. My goodness. Love me some Randy. Castillo still out there. Next up in the box here is Tristan Gray. Former Tampa Bay Ray, as we can see in the photo. Still didn't have a good enough Oakland A photo from last night to compare to that one, so we got to stick with that one for now. Yeah, Red Sox are kind of like in the same spot where the Mariners are at. Like, we feel like we're a pretty good team, but then we've kind of let things slip through our fingers and haven't really played good ball as of late, and it's definitely hurt our playoff chances. And if you actually look at the Red Sox record and Mariner record, it's, you know, pretty similar, and the style of how we play. But, you know, it's just sometimes you end up just being on the outside looking in, and you have to realize what you need to do to get better. But again, more stealing bags in proper situations, more strategy, you know, for the Mariners, more bunting. Guys that get on first, they have to steal second and third, you know, more bunts 2 to 4 times a game. I feel like if you execute those 2 basic things, it can help tremendously. You know, it gives you like a 60% better chance to win when you're more effective on those things. But again, it's all about timing. You just can't let the guys get wild out there and think they're going to steal every time they get to first. Otherwise, the tendencies are going to come out and you're going to get out, right? So you got to be able to pick and choose your battles on when you're going to do that. But bottom of the 5th, 2-2 Mariners and A's, runner at first with no outs. 229 average, 7 homers and 32 ribbies in 2024 for Max Schumann. Like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We're approaching an hour and a half, and hopefully we're at 20. And it looks like we just got to 20. Thank you so much. All right, now we need 10 more to get to 30, and we're going to be gravy at 30 and beyond. Let's go. 10 more to 30. Smash that like button if you haven't done it yet, baby. And we've already hit the first dono goal. We're at 119. We need 81 to get to 2. No worries. Congrats on the Astros being so good lately, man. Like, you guys had a very rough, you know, April and May, but you guys have just been utter dominant, you know, ever since. And to deactivate 2 players and to take a $40 million hit in the payroll, that was really the key, you know. And again, congratulations on making big decisions on trying to win this year. And in all honesty, it wouldn't even shock me if the Astros overachieve against teams like the Guardians, the Yankees, and Orioles. And even though it's probably not the most likely scenario, you know, it could happen where we might see the Astros in the World Series this year. You know, they're probably not as strong as they were in previous years, but if they get into the dance and they play like they have, you know, besides tonight's loss, that they can do something. Oh my God, Victor Robles. Unbelievable catch. Double play. Wow. Are you kidding me? Victor Robles. He looking like Air Jordan out there. Oh, my God. That no-fly zone. Randy Arozarena, Julio Rodriguez. Victor Robles says, hey, Julio, I can do it better than you. You want to see? Wow. Wow. Even the MLB logo has got to come out for that one. Oh, my. That might be the photo of the night. Hopefully there's good photographers for that one. And then if they have a good photo for that, that'll be the thumbnail. Or maybe not the thumbnail, but that'll be like the promo photo promoting the stream for tomorrow. Wow. Okay. And I do really like this spinning MLB logo. Obviously, I use it for the All-Star game this year. But again, periodically, we might bust it out. I like the color scheme on it, a little USA action. And it's very dope. MLB. And we got the A's. And we got the Mariners. And MLB, baby. I can't believe he caught that. That was amazing. Insane. What a catch. Next up for the A's, Jacob Wilson, the shortstop, 0 for 1 with a fly out in the third. Crushes that one foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. And we're knotted up here at 2 in the bottom of the 5th. So it's definitely still a winnable game. Yeah, I think it just depends, Stormbum, on how old you are, and like what you grew up with. And I think anything that you grow up with is going to be more of an attachment than what you see now. So like, what you saw, as a 7-year-old until you're 12 years old, I feel like things from like 5 to 12 are more precious to people in their life as they get older. And then you have like these glory, kind of moments, and you remember, collecting, the baseball cards or watching your heroes grow up, in that particular era. And you still love the players that are playing today. But I think that when you go back and look at the players, if you watch sports when you were 5 to 12, which some of us did, some of us may have not, but if you did, you're always going to have those memories of those toys or those cards or, those memories of those players or wrestlers or whatever it was at that time that will always be a little bit more precious than maybe what we see today. At least I know that it is for me. 2-2 pitch. I mean, it's a number of things, growing up in the Bird, Magic, Jordan, Drexler, David Robinson, Patrick Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon era, the Ken Griffey Jr. era, the Joe Montana era, the Barry Sanders era, the Wayne Gretzky, Mario Lemieux era. There's just so many, the NWO, DX, Hulk Hogan, and, Andre the Giant, Macho Man, Randy Savage. I mean, the list can go on and on and on. 2-2 pitch. And it'll always be Griffey, Randy Johnson, Edgar Martinez, Ichiro, Julio, and Cal now. And then we'll see if we add any others to that list. And I have a really dope Ichiro 2001 rookie bat that's bigger than this Louisville Slugger 125. And it actually has Ichiro's image like painted all over the bat, which is insane. And I have to dig it out. I got an old Portland Beaver one. And then I even have a Kyle Seager player image one that I got when he was in his heyday for the Mariners, because he was really the only good thing the Mariners had besides Felix Hernandez back then. But they're somewhere in my collection, but I don't know where they're at. But I did find this Griffey one today. And then I'm also getting a black Seattle Mariner one from this 2024 season, but I haven't seen my friend Justin just yet. Yeah, I think that's one thing for me, like Hulk Hogan and the Hulkamaniacs as a wrestler. I love that. Hollywood Hogan, I even loved even more. But if you've obviously seen him, and his views, on politics and the way that he rants and the things that he has said and done, obviously some of the racist comments that have come out towards some of the other wrestlers, as well as people. It's one thing to be able to like, oh, I looked up to this guy as a kid, as like this wrestler. But as you get older and you start to realize, certain people, are very suspect, and questionable, and sometimes, kind of piece of shit people, and it's not necessarily on who he represents politically. It's just of who he is. And a lot of the bad stories have come out. I'm not saying Hulk Hogan is Vince McMahon, And Vince McMahon's going to have that documentary that's going to come out with a bunch of stuff. But I would agree with that too. Yeah, fucking Hogan's a little crazy. And, if that's the way that he wants to portray himself and that's who he is, then I guess that's who he is. So, but, you got to think a lot of these people that are rich and famous, I think WWE signed like a 4-year deal, an extension with Hogan. But based on a lot of his behavior shit, he should be fucking like banned. Kind of like Vince, but I don't know if enough has come out for everyone to kind of put the ban on Hogan, and obviously everyone remembers Hollywood Hogan and the NWO and Hulk Hogan and the Hulkamaniacs. And that's really the only thing that's saving him right now with his behavior is his shit that he did in the past because he was so fucking popular that they're kind of, shoving it under the rug and acting like the shit that he says and does now doesn't matter, but it does. So, but I would agree with that. Top of the 6th, 2-2, Mariners and A's. Pitches outside to Julio Rodriguez, 1-0 count. But I think the thing that really bothers me the most about Hogan is just the way that he talks down to people and then the racist shit that has come out. And again, obviously me being multicultural as well and having friends of all races, anytime I see prejudice or I see racism or sexism, definitely it's a big okay, I'm not about who you are anymore or what you were as a wrestler and as a person that's a real life obviously is completely different. So but sometimes it takes time to be able to figure out who those people are. 2-0 pitch, big swing for Julio off balance. I thought he got rid of those off balance swings. Come on, Edgar. 2 balls and 1 strike to Julio Rodriguez. Come on, J-Rod, bring that electricity, baby. 2-1 pitch from Ginn to Rodriguez. Another garbage pitch at the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Come on, baby. Two pitch from Ginn to Julio. Popped up towards right field. Should stay in play. Butler is there. Butler's a good defender in right field as well. Another part of his game that doesn't get talked about enough. 1 away. Next up, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Let's go, big dumper. Cal is going to go down as the best Seattle Mariner catcher in our team history, baby. Keep this guy locked up for a long, long time. Let's see where we're at. All right, we're at 23. We need 7 more likes to get to the goal to get to 30. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. It looks like we got 6 people that haven't done it yet, and hopefully we'll get those people to do it here in the next few minutes. Let's go, baby. 1-0 pitch to Cal. Crushes that one foul. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, I actually don't live in Seattle. I live in Oregon. So, again, that's why I'm an Oregon Duck fan and a Blazer fan, but I represent the Kraken and the Mariners for obvious reasons. And if the Seahawks had defense, back, in the mid-'90s, I probably would be a Seahawk or a Niner fan at that point. But I just didn't want to hop on the Niner bandwagon, and I didn't have a connection to like the Raiders or the Chargers or the Seahawks, based off personnel. And I wanted to make sure I found a team that fit me. And it's, the Bucks are the only team that I root for that aren't in the Pacific Northwest, obviously being all the way on the other side of the country in Florida. But I felt like my personality vibed more with Warren Sapp, Derek Brooks, John Lynch, Rondé Barber, Mike Allstott. That's me. That physicality, that energy, that special type of athlete and player. And again, if I would have had some of those type of athletes, on those other teams, maybe I would go down that route. But Seattle is beautiful, man. If you end up going to a game, you won't be disappointed. T-Mobile is fucking beautiful. And if you walk around the whole stadium to be able to get the views, there's not a bad seat. And you can even, before the pregame, you can go in the bullpen area in the outfield and be front row and eat food, right? And just like watch them warm up. It's fucking awesome, man. Like the way the stadium is, you don't have to be like, I got to go in this big crowd and I can't even see. Like there's enough space where people are drinking and eating and like pre-gaming and whatnot, but there's enough area for fans and kids where you're not like too jumbled up, where you can actually, like eat a burger and fries or whatever and just relax for a sec before you get in your seat and, talk to the players or watch them warm up. And it's pretty cool. Top of the sixth, 2-2 Mariners and A's. Nobody on with 2 outs. Again, 87 pitches. His night is almost done. 1-2 pitch. Arozarena with another lazy swing. I don't know what's up with these lazy swings by Randy. And he has struck out. Let's go to the bottom of the sixth. I don't think I've seen more lazy swings in 2024 than I have today by Randy Arozarena. That's like the fifth lazy swing. Like, if you're going to swing fully. Don't half swing, half not swing. It's not a good look on TV. And I imagine it's not a good look on in person, there at the Oakland Coliseum. Come on, guy. Next up for the A's, 1 for 2. Right fielder, Lawrence Butler. Batting second, 1 for 2. DHing for Oakland, Brent Rooker. Batting third, 0 for 2. Center fielder, J.J. Bleday. Doubles all day, Bleday. Let's go. Best time in baseball season to see a game, probably late April, early May. I would say the same thing, just like, it just kind of depends. Mid to end May would be good too. I would say end of April if the weather's good, and then any time in May. That would probably be the best time because then it's not too hot, and if you get a seat that's like, not covered by, the upper area. Because again, when I ended up going on July 4th, we went to go see the Orioles. It was fucking hot, and we were like in the 5th to 10th row. And I kind of wish that we had seats a little bit further back. You have a better chance of getting a foul ball when you're like 15 to 20 rows back instead of being in the first 10 rows. When you're in the first 10 rows, the kids are animals there, and they don't give a shit. They'll just knock anybody over, right? And I feel like, I want to be a little bit further back, not only to be able to get a ball, but I like being able to not have that heat on me that whole time. And even though we ended up winning the game against the Orioles, I felt like a little uncomfortable. And obviously, I'm not drinking alcohol as much as I did back then, so I didn't drink, and neither did my buddy and whatnot. But I felt like it was a little uncomfortable. Like I wanted to be able to enjoy the game a little bit more, and I think I definitely needed a little bit more shade. But again, it all depends. If you end up going in June, July, August, there's always going to be an opportunity for it to be 70 to 80. But it does heat up, obviously with global warming. In Oregon and Washington this year, we've been hitting 90, 95, 100, 102, 103. So you just got to make sure you don't go to a game where it's that hot. And if you do, make sure you get a covered seat a few rows back. But the best seats in T-Mobile are first base for the pitcher and third base. That's where I would recommend. About 15 to 20 rows back, perfect spot. That way you're not paying too much for the ticket. Still probably about 80 to 100 per ticket. You have a good chance for a foul ball. And again, you're going to be probably more towards adults rather than jammed up with a bunch of kids, and which is not a problem, but I think everyone has been to a concert or a sporting event where you have kids that behave and you have adults that behave, and then you have adults that are drunks and that are assholes and that are annoying. And then you also get the kids that are entitled and the parents don't discipline them and that are annoying, everyone trying to be a fucking Zach Hampel out there, right? Save some for O-Dog. Castillo jams Rooker with a nice pitch inside with a changeup or a slider there. 0-2 count. That too. Yeah. And again, a lot of times when I go in the end of April, early part of May is because of me and Justin's birthday. His is at the end of April, mine's at the beginning of May. And so we usually try to see what series is around that time. But if we have to extend it until the middle of May or June, we will. We just have to look at the teams and say, who do we want to see? And we've seen, who have we seen the last couple of years? We've seen the Royals. I've seen the Yankees in 2022 with Aaron Judge and Julio and Bobby Witt Jr.'s rookie year. I've seen the Cardinals, and then obviously the Orioles this year, which was a blessing. Bottom of the 6, 2-2, Mariners and A's. And then my buddy went to go see 2 games with his other friend from high school and saw the Mets where we won like 6-0, 4-0. So my buddy Justin is on a good winning streak. I think that they've won like 90% of the time that my buddy is gone. So, and a good chunk of those wins have been with me too. So bottom of the 6, 2-2, Mariners and A's. Could go either way. Base is empty. 2 outs. 0-2 pitch from Castillo to Blade. Blade crushes that one, but it floats down in center field. Julio is there, and let's go to the top of the 7th. Yeah. All right, let's go to the top of the 7th, see who's up next here for Seattle. And then for the people that donated, for like Megan and Kryptonian, if he's still in the building, Reflect, anything you want to see, you let me know. And then if not, if there's anyone else that donated that I missed, please speak up. I don't think I missed anybody, but if I did, normally they'll, speak in the chat and let me know. Let me know. Next up for the Mariners, 0-for-2 with a K, first baseman Luke Raley. Batting second baseman Jorge Polanco. And batting third, right fielder Victor Robles. But I'm really excited about the vision of the channel, and someone's got to be able to be the everyday Seattle Mariner YouTuber, and it's something that I've worked really, really hard to be able to get to this point. But I feel it's just like the first beginning stages. We still haven't really hit our stride just yet, but we're getting there. And we've already had 3 1,000 view streams in a row. Not sure if we're going to be able to get to 1,000 today, but I hope that we get close. And again, as the Mariners get better, the channel will get more traction. And obviously we know that we're going to have a bright future, but it might take a little time for some of the bandwagon or fair weather Mariner fans that might come out of the woodworks or wanting to support us down the road. But again, we got Mariners and A's tomorrow, right? Then we're going to have the debut of the NFL kickoff. I'm so excited. Chiefs and Ravens, Lamar with Derrick Henry, fucking Mahomes, Kelsey, Swift. Watch out. It's going to be fun. Then we got fucking the Eagles and the Packers in Brazil, and supposedly they can't wear green because it's gang related. Both the teams wear green. They didn't think that one out when they made the schedule. Okay. And then obviously on Friday or on Saturday, then we're going to have Ducks and the Boise State Broncos at 7 on Peacock. Excited about that. Hopefully we turn shit around. And then we're going to be doing probably Bucks and the Commanders, Lions and Rams on Sunday night. So we'll be doing back-to-back 2 games there. Reaction videos galore. And then I'll have to obviously take some new photos and then use that as an image. And then we'll be doing Monday Night Football as well. And then when we get back around to Tuesday, that's probably when we'll end up doing the next Mariner game with George Kirby on the mound tomorrow, as well as next Tuesday. And then when we get into Monday night, that'll be Jets and Niners, Aaron Rodgers, and Christian McCaffrey, and hopefully we see Aaron Rodgers make it past the first quarter. And Jets defense is solid. It's a pretty good matchup. So I'm very excited about the debut of the NFL, and I'm happy that we have the college football kickoff from last weekend, even though the Ducks didn't really look that good, but other teams like the Huskies and the Trojans did. So congratulations to you guys and those fan bases. And again, hopefully the Ducks will be able to get things, obviously I already seen stuff in practice, and I've seen video and articles. I know Lanning ripped into them, and hopefully that they are going to take it very, very serious, and hopefully we get better as the season goes along. So. Rayleigh strikes out, 1 away. I'm just going to have to be able to find the sweet spot, for the reaction videos if I'm going to be doing live streams also. Next up, second baseman, Jorge Polanco. PJ in the building, what's good? Megan with $1, appreciate you. Now we're at 120. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little cactus jack, bang, bang. $1 holla. Thank you so much. Top of the seventh, 2-2, Mariners and A's. Nobody on, one out. Harris in the box. Or Harris on the mound, excuse me. Polo in the box. Let's go, Polo. Check swing. 2 balls and 1 strike to Polo. Two one pitch. Well, at least Scott Service, we moved on that. Now we got to get rid of Dipoto, and then we got to be able to shed salary and make better decisions than bringing in guys like Polo and Garver. And then Haniger, obviously is getting to a point with his age that, we need to move on from him as well. And then start bringing up some of these farm kids and giving them a chance to, work into the lineup. And again, Lazaro Montes, Harry Ford, Cole Young, Cole Emerson, just to name a few. And then we still got guys like Tyler Locklear and Ryan Bliss that are working on their skill set. So we got the most top 100 farm system guys, I believe, with 8. So we need to keep working on those guys. And I can't wait for Durangelo to get a chance, the pitcher that we drafted from Mississippi State that pitches left and right. So we'll see where it goes. Throw to first, 2 away. Polo moves to second. So, again, it's going to take a while, for us to be able to get where we want to get, to either get first in the division or second. But again, we definitely blew a big opportunity this year, but it should be a learning curve. And you got to be able to understand what we're good at, what we're not good at. And it's more than just, getting players that are good on other teams. It's about finding the right combination and the right batting order and the right strategy game in and game out, and not just coasting through the season like the Mariners have, obviously post All-Star break. Some games we were in, but some games we definitely looked unfocused, unmotivated, and, if you get punched in the mouth early, sometimes that's all it takes to beat the Mariners. Top of the seventh, 2-2, runner at second with 2 outs. Harris on the mound, Garver in the box. 1 ball and 1 strike to Garv. Yeah, but the thing is you don't watch enough Mariner games to understand if you're an Astros fan, Stormbum. When you have a guy for 9 or 10 years and they only make the playoffs once and they make a bunch of questionable decisions throughout the game, would you want to keep someone like that? No, you wouldn't. Again, if you have a guy for a few years and you give him a chance to turn it around, and not everything is Scott's fault. Obviously, he can't be the one that pitches and hits. But sometimes, when you have a coach, it runs its course. And you get to a point where the Kraken, the Seahawks, and the Mariners all made the playoffs in 2022. They all missed the playoffs in 2023. They all fired their coaches in 2024. And a lot of them, not every single one, was there for a long, long time. Some were there for not as long. But sometimes you need to be able just to make a change. And I think a big part, of the Mariners' displeasure, is the strategy part, of taking a pitcher out too soon. Right, putting in the wrong pitcher in the bullpen to blow the game, putting in the wrong pinch runner or pinch hitter, and not bunting enough, not being able to steal bags efficiently, and also being a guy that's not really that fiery. He's kind of more docile and calm. We need a guy in Seattle to be like a Lou Piniella. We don't need someone to put the arm around you and to be your friend. Being friends is not going to get us where we need to go. Again, it's like you can have traits like Pete Carroll where you can kind of be intense and friend, but with Scott Service, he didn't really have the intense part. And I don't really think that the players felt that he truly had everyone's back equally. I feel that there was a connection with some of the players that he was stronger with compared to others. But I think that, again, if you're going to be a manager and you're going to be long tenured, you got to have more than one playoff berth in 9 years. And yeah, he ended up bringing it to us. But again, the management and the ownership is not really doing us a lot of favors, but again, at some point, you got to be able to move on. And the same thing goes with our GM Dipoto, not really making the right decisions in the offseason. And that's why we want to get rid of him too. At some point, you have to change to get better. That's why. But again, you wouldn't really know that because you're not watching the Mariners game in and game out. Like for a lot of us, I watch every game from beginning to end, even when we're down 15-0. So I get to see the effort and the decisions that are made when we're kicking ass or when we're getting our ass kicked. And again, those are big things in baseball. Analytics and stats fucking matter. And again, you can tell the connection really wasn't there. And that's why they made the right decision to let him go. And they could have let him go at the end of the year, but I think it was after that Dodger series, that was the reason why. So. Yeah, but the old school guys, are better, because, it strikes a fear, in the other teams, and you never know when Sweet Lou would come out and he would kick dirt, pick up a base, throw it, you never knew what he was going to do, but he had good intentions. He was just a real fiery guy that had his players' backs, and you felt it. And that's what the Mariners need. If we can ever get like a Lou Piniella again, that's how we're going to be successful. You can be a hard ass, but you can gain respect, but you ultimately have to win, and you have to have a strong connection, and you have to be genuine. You have to be honest. So if you're going to be a fiery guy, you can't be a liar, and say one thing and do another, to like the media, like, oh, we're going to do this and then do the opposite. Like, you have to make sure that you have all those boxes checked off. And I feel like, with Scott Service, he's just too calm. There was times where he could have got himself ejected to show loyalty to the team, but he barely did it throughout the year. And it's just not his personality. And that's a big part of, if we're going to be too relaxed, then the players are going to be relaxed. We need to make sure that some of these guys understand that their jobs are on the line and that you need to play with some urgency. So, not everyone gets blessed with Dusty Baker like you, Stormbum. But that's why. Bottom of the seventh, 2-2, Mariners and A's. Next up is Zach Geloff. But it also shows you, too, that Dan isn't necessarily going to turn everything around. A lot of the same things that were happening with Scott are still happening now with Dan. And the 7 out of the last 10 games have been like one-run games. And we are fucking terrible in one-run games. So we have to find a way to be able to produce more. And again, we might end up losing a one-run game. But hopefully we got a little bit more left in the tank here before the game ends. Bottom of the seventh, tied up at 2. Runner at first, pitches inside to Geloff. 2 balls and no strikes. Come on, baby. No, that's why I asked. Thank you for coming through. No, I've had a lot of messages come up, and then I think I didn't see your message from before, but I'll get you some Vince done. I could have swore there was 1 or 2 donos or pictures that that as we were going through that I had to catch up on, but thank you for that. I'll get that up for you in the next commercial break. Appreciate you, DX. 2-1 pitch from Castillo to Geloff. Try to jam the hitter inside. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two-two pitch. Pitch is low and in the zone at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Thornton warming up. Time called. Three-two pitch. Popped up. Rayleigh. Foul territory. Nice job, Luke. 2 away. Next up is Tristan Gray. Big swing and a miss. 0-1 count. I'm getting some Vince Dunns loaded up here for you. Kraken season right around the corner. Excited about that. Big swing and a miss, behind in the count, 0-2. We're at 120, 80 to go for the next goal. All right, Storm Bum, take it easy, brother. Enjoy those Astros. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Tristan Gray. Castillo still out there in the 7th inning. But again, we just need to be able to score to help out our pitchers. It's like, you look at our pitching staff, like when you get 1 to 3 runs and you have like 4 wins and 40 plus losses, it's like, got to find the right combination of guys. And again, maybe bringing up a big chunk of the farm guys and seeing what they can do, and then eliminating some of these, Garver, Polo, Haniger guys to make room for some of the newbies that might be able to shine. And I think that the fan base would love a lot of the new additions, because if you watched them in the farm or seen any highlights whatsoever, it's very promising. It's the best farm system that the Mariners have had in their team history. And we're not even talking about Ryan Bliss and, Locklear and a few of the other guys that have gotten to sniff a little bit of what it's like to be in the big leagues, even though they weren't probably fully ready yet. But I know a lot of us did like what we saw out of Locklear, kind of a skinnier, younger, similar version of Ty France at first, but still had to work on his game a little bit, offensively and defensively. And then Ryan Bliss, a guy that can give you some good heat on the bags and steal bases, play some pretty good defense, but still kind of an intermediate hitter. There we go. Castillo with that nice punch out. There we go. Nice job, Castillo. And this is the type of shit, that sucks. It's like, you end up having a horrible record because you can't end up getting run production. You're 11-12. You started off 0-4. So if you really take that in consideration, he's 11-8 since, 3.65 ERA. But again, when you get into the matchups, you need to score some fucking runs and help the guy out. Scoring 1 to 3 ain't going to cut it, especially when you have pitchers, because we've seen, when the starting lineup has been good, when they only give up like 1 or 2 or none, right? And then you've also seen when every starter, including Wu, Gilbert, Kirby, Miller, and Castillo, it absolutely fucking rocked for like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And those are brutal, and so it's like you want to make sure you make up for some of those tough losses. And these are the type of games you gotta win, 1-run games. And we're not very good this season. I got some Vince Dunns here for DX. Definitely excited for the Kraken, and we'll be doing some Kraken streams probably as football starts to kind of end, and then we're looking for something to do in like March. March, April time, then we'll probably be doing a few more when it's just like NBA and NHL. Then we'll end up scooping up and doing a lot of NHL games at that time. Appreciate you, my guy. Vince Dunn in the building. All right, next up for the Mariners, pinch hitter Dylan Moore. All right, let's go, Demo. See what you got going. Demo pinch hitting for Josh Rojas. And then I assume they're going to go JP Crawford and then Julio. All Moose, all day, every day. We need extra luck. He needs to be jumping up and down, letting us know we're going to win. All right, here we go. Let's go, Demo. But it'll be fun because, like I said, we have me and we have Megan and we have DX, and then hopefully we'll get some more, Kraken supporters, even if it's not something that they were looking into supporting. Maybe it'll be some Seahawk fans, maybe some Husky fans, maybe some Cougs, and it might be some people from Oregon. We don't really have anything on that level here besides the Portland Winterhawks and the WHL. And I know, just like myself, there's going to be people in Oregon that are looking to be able to support a team if they don't have a team already. And I'm still looking to go to my first Kraken game this upcoming season. I don't know if it'll happen this year or next year, but I really do want to go this year if possible. Popped up. 2 away. Julio. Why? Next up, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. One for 3 with a double in the first and a run. First pitch is high. 1-0 count. 260 average, 13 homers, 47 ribbies. I mean, that would be good if it was an average player. Dribbler towards third. Throw to first. Down go the Mariners with nothing there. Let's go to the bottom of the 8th. We're knotted up here at 2. Jeffrey with a tour. Let me know what you want to do for a photo. You got a vintage player on the Mariners that you like? Stacks on stacks, racks on racks, little Cactus Jack, bang, bang. I mean, are you a Ken Griffey Jr. guy? Are you a Randy Johnson guy? Are you an Edgar? Are you an Ichiro? Do you like the obscure guys like John Olerud or Tino Martinez, Dan Wilson, Chris Bossio, Harold Reynolds? I mean, I can go all day. Right? Blues or Blackhawks? Well, you can go see the Rook there from last year, first pick on the Blackhawks. Stan Javier, Bones, Jay Buhner, good choice. I love Bones. Bones is like one of the best players that never gets talked about enough. Let me just throw this up in the background while I pull up a photo or two. How long of a fan have you been of Seattle? Few years or a long, long time? It's cool too because the relationship that these guys had, Ken Griffey Jr. was more hip hop and urban lifestyle. Dave Buhner is just the fucking cowboy, complete opposites. But, these guys are ride or die. And if you've ever seen their, Griffey's like Hall of Fame and, not only the Hall of Fame speech, but the Mariner Hall of Fame speech. And, you can really tell like what Jay Buhner not only has meant to Ken Griffey Jr. back then, but how close they are now, even to this day. Very cool to be able to see players that built those bonds, together in professional sports and still keep in touch afterwards. Early Griffey years, nice. Bottom of the 8th, 2-2, Mariners and A's knotted up. If you're just tuning in, pretty. It was kind of hot in the beginning. Cal Raleigh doubled the center. Crawford and Julio scored 2-0 Mariners. Then Butler homered for the A's to make it 2-1, and then Brown homered in the bottom of the 4th. So we haven't really had anything since the bottom of the 4th inning. So it's kind of everyone going through the motions, but hopefully we can find a way. Taylor Saucedo warming up in the bullpen. I saw him going at it with a fan on Twitter/X, talking about his ERA last month was almost like 15. And obviously Saucedo couldn't hold back. Big swing and a miss. Got him. I really like this guy right here. This is probably my favorite bullpen guy that we got right now. And I'm not talking about Maurice because, he's always at the top of the list. But I love what I've seen in limited action out of Troy Taylor. It gives us a guy like a seawall that we can count on before Andres Munoz. This guy is a stud. Play him more. And honestly, he's so good. Like, let's play him in the 7th and the 8th. Why play him in just one inning, Or if he has to go 8th and 9th. Like, I wouldn't maybe, have many guys in our bullpen go more than one inning. But definitely Munoz and Taylor are guys that could. And they could be efficient doing it. Instead of going with one guy in the 6th, him fucking up, a guy in the 7th, him fucking up, and then hoping that Taylor and Munoz can save the day. And when we get Matt Brash next year, that'll be our 6th and 7th inning guy, or at least the 6th, right? He'll be able to do 1 or 2. And then we're still going to be looking for another guy to add to that mix. Brash in the 6th or the 7th. Then you got Troy Taylor, and then you got Munoz. But you still need another really strong piece besides those 3. And hopefully we get that. Maybe that'll be Durangelo, the guy that can pitch from the left and the right. Maybe we can throw him in the bullpen, and he can do something. That would be exciting as well if he ends up not being a starter. 1-0 pitch to Lawrence Butler. Pitch right down the middle for a strike. Let's go, baby. Butler's asking for a 4-4 score, but I don't think we're going to have that. We're knotted up at 2, though. Big swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Let's go. Come on, Troy. And I've loved everything about this guy. I know he's not going to be perfect and he's going to fuck up from time to time, but I like his delivery. I like his stance. I like his confidence, his aura, his vibe, his swagger. And when you look at him, he's like, he is expecting to get the guy out. And I just feel like when you see a rookie play like a vet, that's rare, And again, I know some of the other bullpen guys are probably jealous that he's had the kind of success that he's had over guys like Thornton and Saucedo, Chargois, Bizzardo, and all the other guys that we have in there. But this guy is the real deal, and I can't wait to see the development of him. Clase, Rivas, Bliss, Locklear, and Taylor made their debuts this year, but the best one out of all those guys is the guy that's on the mound, Troy Taylor. Better than Locklear, better than Bliss, even though those guys flashed at moments, right? Really like what I see out of him. He's awesome. Lauren in the building, what's good? Like, sub, donate, comment, share. Help us get to 30. If we're only at 25, we need 5 more, baby. 5 more. If you haven't smashed the like button yet, please do. We need 5 more. There we go. Now we're at 26. We need 4 more. Thank you so much. Got him. Lawrence Butler. Bang. That's my boy. This guy's a fucking stud, man. Where was this guy earlier in the year? We should have had him much earlier when we kept going to like Sauce and he kept blowing games as well as some of the other guys. This guy's the man. Don't forget it. Let's go to the top of the 9th. Let's win this shit. Do it for Bones. Do it for Griffey. Do it for King Griffey Jr. and Sr. Hell, do it for the Moose. Maurice. Let's go. And do it for Castillo. I mean, goddamn, he went 0-4, 11-12, 3.65 ERA, and you can only get 2. Help your boy out. He might be the 5th best pitcher on the staff, but even Luis doesn't deserve this. Only 2 solo dingers. But again, we have to be able to put up more than fucking 2. Come on, Mariners. Next up for the Mariners, the most clutch hitter in the 7th inning and beyond, DHing today, big dumper, Cal Raleigh. Batting second with a bunch of lazy swings today, Randy Arozarena. And batting third, first baseman who always hustles, Luke Raley. Let's go. Come on, baby. Bring that electricity. And like I mentioned multiple times on the stream, make sure you take care of your mental health. It's the most important thing you can do every day when you wake up. Addiction, depression, anxiety. I've gone through these things, and I know some of y'all are going through it now or have in the past. So if you are suffering right now or you feel like you're going into the darkness, make some minor adjustments to your daily routine. Exercise if you're not exercising. Eat healthier. Cut back on the fast food and the drinking and the booze. Listen to 30 minutes of music every single day. And make sure that you're spending time with friends, family, pets, and a positive influence in your life like the NWSF right here. And then you can end up getting back on track and you can win the day. Let's go, baby. All right, 2-2, top of the ninth. Cal, line drive, but just doesn't have enough oomph on it. One away. Come on, Maurice, help us, please. Help. We need help. Next up, Randy Arozarena. Mason Miller is incredible. Hell, if we had Mason Miller, we'd be donezo. I mean, we already saw, on the Angels with Joyce, going for 100 to 103. And then you go with Miller right after that. Another guy that can go 100 to 103. It's a very rare commodity now for guys that pitch over 100. 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts, and it might have been 3 of the worst strikeouts I've seen all year with lazy swings at every at-bat, and even some of them with 2. Come on, Randy. He's got this weird thing where he just kind of stands there, or takes a step back, just waiting to see if the pitch goes right down the middle. I don't like that, and I also don't like the lack of effort in the swings today. He's been kind of lackadaisical in the outfield, but also now in the box. Like it almost seems like a player in the NFL that just got their payday and they're rich now and they got the big contract and they're like, I don't give a fuck anymore. I know it's not exactly what he's hopefully feeling. Like, oh, I'm on the Mariners, whatever. We got eliminated from the playoffs, whatever. But it's like, I get it, but I would like you to play at least hard, or at least pretend that you're playing hard. At least try to make some plays out there in left field. And try to swing the bat with some authority. And if not, get a walk. Pitch is low and into the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes. I think he likes playing in Seattle. I don't think he hates it. I mean, like I said, we got a cool vibe. It's just we need to find the right guys and to stop wasting money on guys like Garver and Polo and just build with him, through the farm system. And then if we are going to spend big money, you spend big monies on pitchers in the bullpen. Imagine if we would have spent 10, 11 million each, right, for 2 pitchers that were starters that we could move into the bullpen. That would have been money better spent. And Randy goes aboard with a walk. He's like, I don't need to fucking have a lazy swing, oh dog. I'm just going to go on with a walk now. And pinch hitting for Luke Raley, Justin Turner. Let's go, JT. We have a mound visit here, top of the ninth, with the runner at first with 1 out. All right, we're at 27. 3 more to go to hit the goal for the night. You haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. Get us to 30. 3 more, and we're there. Munoz not playing, not good. And we've been gaining some good subs as well. We gained 7 yesterday and 4 today. Strike 1 to Turner. This is ironic. We gained 4 subs today, right? Our record is 69 and 69, right? And then we need 69 subs now to get to 20,500. Is that a sign? I don't know if it is, but we'll see. Harris on the mound, 0-2 pitch to Turner. Pitches inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're tied up at 2 with a runner at first with 1 out. Come on, JT. Throw to first to Randy, safe. Yeah, hopefully the ownership will change at one point before I die. And obviously we hope that Dipoto is out within the next year. At the end of the season would be fantastic. Big jump by Randy. Pitches high, out of the zone. 2 balls and 2 strikes, and Harris can't believe it. A's fans, all 500 at the ballpark, can't believe it. They show their displeasure with their 500 boos and their 30, 40,000 capacity stadium. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is low and inside at the knees. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Yeah, they want profits. They don't want to win a championship. They just want everyone to buy the jerseys and buy the beer. Shit, what was that? Terrible. Randy, what are you doing? Justin, what are we doing there? Golly. All right, now we go to the bottom of the ninth, and it feels like all the momentum that we had early in the game has disappeared. And we'll see what happens here. Will it be another walk-off for the A's? It wouldn't shock me. Next up for the A's, leading off, DHing, Brent Rooker, and Thornton's coming in for Taylor. Why? Keep Taylor in. Batting second, hitting doubles all day, center fielder J.J. Bleday. And batting third, the person that got the walk-off homer and a 3-run blast is batting third, catcher Shea Langoliers. So probably the worst part of the lineup besides Lawrence Butler, you're going to get Rooker, Bleday, and Langoliers, a guy that can hit a home run, a guy that can get a single or double, and then a guy that can hit a home run. So we'll see if we can get out of this particular inning. If we can get out of this inning, we might have a chance to win 3-2 in 10 or 11. But this is a very tough task of Rooker, Bleday, and Langoliers. Because obviously adding Butler, those first 4 in the lineup are deadly. Silent, but deadly. I'll be live tomorrow, same time, same place, 6:30 Pacific. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing Chiefs and Ravens. Friday, Eagles and Packers. Saturday, Ducks and Boise State Broncos. Sunday, we'll do Commanders and Bucks, as well as Rams and Lions on Sunday night. And then Monday night, we'll end up doing the Jets and the Niners. And then Tuesday, we'll have George Kirby on the mound like we have tomorrow. And then that will be against the Padres and Elliott's team at home, and that will be extremely tough. Trent Thornton in the game. See if he can end up being the hero or the zero here tonight for Seattle. Pitch on the corner. Good start against Brent Rooker, who's a stud. 0-1 count. 1 for 3 with a single in the first, and Rooker put up top 10 stats with guys like named Bobby Witt Jr., Aaron Judge, and Shohei Ohtani. He has been probably the most surprising player that is not well known if you actually follow baseball as a league whole. 295 average, 33 homers, 93 ribbies for a guy named Brent Rooker that most people have no idea who he is besides being on the A's. Stud. 1-2 count from Thornton to Rooker. Bottom of the ninth, we're tied up at 2. Got to get him out. Set the tone. Pitch on the corner. Wow. Strike 3. A foot off the plate. What a horrible call by that ump. And Rooker can't believe it. The fans can't believe it. And that definitely was not a true strike 3. That ump needs some glasses or contacts, baby. Next up is J.J. Bleday. 0 for 3, 2 flyouts and a pop-out. 1-0 count to Bleday. Pitches outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Yeah, I think the American League is up for grabs. And then obviously we know that National League teams that win usually, 100 to 115 games, like the Braves and Dodgers did, they weren't able to complete the task. And then we ended up getting the Phillies and the Diamondbacks. So I feel like when the American League team is strong, they go all the way. But when the National League team is strong in the regular season, they sometimes fold if they're not hot and healthy at the right time. And then you get this hot team that kind of comes out of nowhere in the playoffs and the National League. So we would assume that the Phillies and Dodgers are the two best. But, I mean, do the Braves, and the Brewers actually have a chance against those two teams? Probably not. But a team like the Padres and the Diamondbacks, even though they're not really talked about, they're probably a little bit more dangerous than the Braves and the Brewers, even though the Brewers have been hot as of late within the last couple of weeks. But if we're talking about playoffs, who's going to choke and who isn't, I would assume that the Phillies and Dodgers don't want anything to do with the Padres. That might be the one team that actually could beat them. But other than that, I think they have control of everyone else. And then you got the Orioles, right? The Yankees, the Guardians, the Twins, the Royals. And I think that it's pretty even there. And then including the Astros as well. Like, you would probably think that Orioles, Guardians, Yankees, Astros probably got to be the top four. And then the sleepers would be like Royals and Twins, because we've seen flashes, but they're probably not good enough to go against the top four. So we'll see how it goes. Anything can happen in baseball. 3-2 pitches outside, and that is a walk. J.J. Bleday. Next up, catcher Shea Langoliers. 3-run jack, as well as a walk-off for the A's. And now he's got an opportunity to do it again. Yeah, and that's a real crazy thing, isn't it? No 100-win teams, which is, pretty rare. All the teams, I would agree with that. If you actually go down and make a list of everyone's strengths and weakness, there's a lot more weaknesses in the teams, even the good ones, than last year or the year before. So that it gives you a little bit more parity, like you normally get in the NFL, where you don't really know. Like, you kind of have an idea who the best teams are, like Phillies and Dodgers in the National League. But does that mean that they're going to go all the way or even represent the National League? We don't know. Well, we know the Dodgers have a shitload of injuries with their pitchers. And again, it's all about who's hot and who's healthy. Like, yeah, you got Shohei Ohtani, and I know he can't pitch, but you need more than just Mookie Betts, Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, and company. Uh-oh. Runners at first and second with one out, and that's what happens when you bring Thornton in the game instead of Munoz. Yeah, anything is possible. American League is stronger than the National League, in my opinion. If you're looking at the teams top to bottom, not saying that the National League teams are bad, but I think a lot of the top six on the American League would beat the brakes off like the Brewers and the Braves right now. And, Padres are tough. Diamondbacks are kind of 50-50, but, to me, even though the Brewers have been hot as of late, I still think the Phillies, the Dodgers, and the Padres are probably the most dangerous. And the Padres are like the sleeper team. They're not as good as the Dodgers and Phillies, but if they get in and they get some of their players back healthy, they can hang with the Dodgers and Phillies. I feel almost better than anyone else in that particular conference and league. But again, we have to kind of wait and see who's hot, who's healthy, and what the positioning is going to be in the playoffs. Pitch right down the middle for Thornton, 0-1 count. Seth Brown in the box. Come on, Mariners, get out of this. 2 for 3 with a solo home run and a single. We can't have a guy get 2 home runs yesterday and then 2 home runs today. Yeah, but he's made a huge difference with his bat, though. So he might not be the best defender, but Soto has been a good player really wherever he goes, and he might not be on the Yankees next year. He might go to the Dodgers. I know he's got a good connection with some of those players over there, so just because he's on the Yankees now doesn't mean he's going to be a Yankee for life. He likes to bounce around, and depending if the Dodgers win the World Series today, that might be the decision that changes his mind on staying in New York, if they make the World Series or not, or if he decides to jump ship and go to LA, because I would assume that's where he would go. Bottom of the ninth, 2-2. Runners at first and second with one out. 1-2 pitch from Thornton to Brown. Chopper towards third. Foul. 2 balls. A 1 ball and 2 strikes. Soto to Seattle would be cool, but the Mariners are so cheap it would never happen. Yeah, he wants like that fucking large money, 300, 400, 500 million money, I would rather, give that money to Cal Raleigh rather than try to get Soto and he'll only stay for a year or 2 and leave. Nice block there by Mitch Garver, not Cal Raleigh announcer. Come on now. Bottom of the ninth. 2-2. Thornton on the mound. Wrong player in the game. Seth Brown in the box. Had a home run earlier in the matchup. We have to find a way to get out of this inning, and we might have a chance to win. And that's a big might. Wow. Jesus Christ. Crushes that one, foul. Wow. That went from the third deck all the way back to the front row. Holy moly. Wow, did that ball ricochet more than anything I've ever seen. Went from the third deck to the second deck to the front deck to the net, all the way to the front row. Wow. Line drive. And there it is. Brown single to center. Blade scores. Final score, A's 3, Mariners 2, and it happened again. Seth Brown, second career walk-off after Shea Langoliers with a walk-off home run yesterday. Seth Brown with a walk-off single today. Unbelievable. It just keeps going right there. And that's Dan Wilson, right? That's Dan Wilson making the wrong decision again, right? Again, we thought that Scott Service was the only one making these bad decisions, and I still love Dan, but not putting out Munoz. Like, you have to understand, you can't just put Munoz out when we're ahead. Sometimes you're going to have to put him out there when we're tied. If you don't want to put him out there when we're down by a run, fine. But if we're tied, put him out there. And we lost that game. And it's still possible Munoz would have given up that same type of RBI game-winning walk-off, but at least we would have felt better having our best player there rather than putting out Thornton, who hasn't really been good as of late. And these are the type of things why we want managers to get hired and fired, is that they make these either good decisions or bad decisions. But, go Mariners until I die, no matter what. Well, I got to go take Paisley for a walk and eat dinner. And again, we'll be live here tomorrow. George Kirby on the mound. Same time, same place, 6:30 Pacific. Come hang out. And again, hopefully we can get a dub tomorrow and we can share our misery together as Mariner fans and baseball fans. Unless you're an A's fan. GG, good game. And then we're going to obviously do Thursday, Chiefs, Ravens. Friday, Packers, Eagles. Saturday, we're going to do Ducks and the Boise State Broncos. Sunday, the Commanders and the Bucks, as well as the Lions and the Rams. And then on Monday, we're going to be doing the Jets versus the Niners. And then next Tuesday, after tomorrow, will be the next Mariner game. And then we're going to be at home versus the Padres. And then George Kirby will also be on the mound at that particular date, as well as tomorrow. So we got to hope that George can help us out. So like, sub, donate, comment, share. If you haven't smashed that like button yet, please do. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your night the best that you can. And again, we'll be live tomorrow at 6:30 Pacific, and hopefully we can end up getting the dub. And I got one question for you. Who you know talks sports like us? Your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, GG A's fans, go Mariners, and I'm out. Gang.